G'day folks, here's my September collection update. G'day folks, Jeff here, welcome back to the channel. This here is a September collection update. You know the drill, there's links down below to all these bands and also the places where I bought them from. There's a hell of a lot of stuff, so yeah, let's get into it now. Alright, first up we'll go through the haul of stuff that I got from the Essence Festival that was on in Canberra a couple of weekends ago. Yeah, a grand time was had by all. It was a really excellent festival, great sort of mix of, you know, nasty metal bands and also some more experimental electronic or weird sort of bands. Yeah, very enjoyable. It was nearly a dud set at all. It was great. My feet really didn't enjoy it much. So some of the bands I watched sitting down, but yeah, what the hell. I still enjoyed their sets, that's for bloody sure. So yeah, I got, yeah, I didn't buy too much. Well, yeah, maybe I did, but I also got given a couple of freebies, which I was very appreciative of. First up, we'll do with Lumen Ad Mortem with their Upon the Edge of Darkness. Gregor from the band was a very nice chap and gave this to me, so I appreciate it. It was very, very generous. Yeah, these guys are killer, just sort of epic atmospheric black metal from South Australia. I think this came out on Bit of Loss Records, maybe, who don't exist anymore. So yeah, you can get this from their Bandcamp. It's links below. So yeah, this is ex-members of Deluge, which is a classic old South Australian black metal band that may well feature on my underappreciated Aussie metal bands in the future, because they were probably killer. There's also guys were also in Saskim and Slaughter Thou as well. So yeah, it's a very good little scene in South Australia. There's a ton of bloody bands. So yeah, these guys mostly moody, sort of long songs, punctuated by blasts. It sounds very 90s sounding. I wouldn't really call them symphonic black metal. Occasionally they sort of sound like they have keyboards that, yeah, really effective use. It gives it a really lush sort of sound. I think it's ethereal. The song is probably the highlight for me. It's just got this epic sort of Bathory feel in the middle of it. It's bloody great. So yeah, they kind of remind me of your Emperor, maybe the old Aussie band Astrial, and yeah, maybe a touch of Abigor as well in there as well. So yeah, not much to the cover. It's very stylish, but it's very dark. Yeah, I really quite enjoyed these guys live, and this is freaking killer. I've listened to this a number of times. Yeah, the key, it's not really, I wouldn't call it symphonic because it's not really keyboard driven. Like there are keyboards in it, but it's not the sort of driving factor in it. Although occasionally it is. I think it's Thought and Memory has a really good kind of very dark keyboard section in the middle of that's very effective. Vocals are mostly sort of raspy, you know, classic black metal style, but done very bloody well. He does have some deep sort of howls as well, and some odd ones as well, although live it was even crazier. He had some very strange vocal styles that worked very effectively. I was thinking, you know, a bit of a Tiller action going on there, and yeah, really, really powerful. This release, he's no longer in the band, but this release had Matt Skitz, like from Damaged and Destroy 666, and yeah, about half of the Aussie metal bands that there are. King Parrot as well. Yeah, he drums on this, does a bloody fine job as always. It's good to hear him play black metal sort of style. It's a bit different than the sort of grindier sort of stuff. So yeah, this is very impressive CD, I gotta say. I'm appreciative that I got this. Thanks, fellas. They're playing, actually, if you're in Adelaide on the 9th of November, they're playing at Froth and Fury Festival alongside Pestilence, Fear Factory, Viada's Murder, and North Lane. So yeah, I would recommend checking these guys out live because it's friggin' killer. Next up are another couple of freebies that I got from a lovely chap called Dan. Thank you very much, mate. This is his band Death Comet with their 1976 first album and their second album. Yeah, this is spacey ambient sort of stuff, really not kind of my usual style, but I quite enjoy these. I'm not really quite sure how to review this sort of stuff, but oh well. According to the little thingy that comes with it, they're atmospheric sci-fi art metal space noise, which is pretty apt, I think. It's all created using just a guitar and effects pedals, so pretty impressive. it's not all harsh noise, sort of harsh noise. There's some nice noise, you could say. I mean, some of it is pretty harsh, but yeah, don't be expecting nice sort of flowery solos. It's it is still somewhat spacey and noisy. Does have a bit of a black metal feel in parts, maybe, and the second one actually has a bit of slightly recognisable guitar when he does a solo or two. The first one, 1976, is from 2016, and 2 is from 2018. He's up to 19 now, so there's a hell of a lot of stuff on his Bandcamp. So I recommend checking that out if you're into spacey art noise stuff. These two are the only physical releases, but yeah, all the rest of it's on Bandcamp, and I'm pretty sure I saw it for like his whole discography for like $1.60 Australian. So crazy. I think I'll be snatching that, so I'm going to work my way through it. I haven't listened to this as much as I probably could have. I really like the quote on there. It's on his Bandcamp. It's got it's like being probed in both ears by aliens with power drills. It's somewhat apt, I think. So as I said, not really quite sure how to review this. It's very interesting stuff, but yeah, I'd highly recommend checking it out. So Bandcamp links below, and yeah, thanks again, Dan, much appreciated. I had fun at the festival. There was a batch of bands that I'd never even heard, so I went in blind on it just for a surprise. Usually I'd like to check bands out first, but I thought, yeah, what the hell, let's give it a whirl. And yeah, one band that really impressed is Som Plume. They don't actually have a physical release, so I bought off their Bandcamp their album In the Black Water, which there's a link below. It's kind of a sludge doom band from Sydney, but there's like members of Momo, or whatever they're called, and Master Leonard. So two, recognisable, pretty good bands, but this is a bit different than that sort of stuff. It's got female vocals, and she kind of reminds me of Anarchy from The Gathering in time. There's a lot of quiet sort of, it has the quiet to loud sort of style, but when it kicks in friggin' loud, and I really like the fact that she continues singing over the loud stuff and in a really powerful, dramatic sort of voice. I don't know, it was one of the things that slightly bugged me about The Third and the Mortal, was that she had this beautiful voice and she'd sing over all the mellow bits, but then as soon as the heavy, doomy riffs came in, there's barely any singing at all, if any. Whereas this one, she keeps up with the heaviness, that's for sure. I think its Death Process was probably one of my highlights. Just really powerful vocals over a dirgy sort of riff and screaming in the background. She's the only one credited with the vocals, so I'd assume that's her screaming as well. And then full Neurosis sort of style, like power riff and keyboards and stuff. There's quite the Neurosis feel in parts. It's what I sort of gathered live, and definitely listening to it. Bait the Vultures has a tribal sort of bit in it as well, and just Descent, the sheer power in the heaviness, far out. Live, I reckon she was even more impressive than on CD. I was blown away. It was really, really bloody good. Vocals seemed even more forceful live. I mean, not in the nice mellow sections. It was lovely in that, but yeah, when the loud, powerful stuff was. Whew. So yeah, sadly, it's all digital. No merch yet. I managed to get a sticker. I think it's because they'd already packed up. I don't know if they had t-shirts maybe or something or other, but what the hell. If it comes out on a physical release, I'll definitely buy it. So yeah, if you like the sound of The Gathering meets Neurosis, definitely check these guys out. Really bloody good. At the festival there was several distros set up. I managed to completely avoid one. Sorry, Mick. Straight out of Gambo didn't get any business from me, but Black Sound sure as shit did. A batch of this was, the classic. I've had a few beers. It's nearing the end of the festival. I won't have to lug this shit around all night, so let's go some records. So first up, Rottrevore, Harbinger of Woe. Art boobs. Oh no. Honestly, back in the sort of late 90s, early 2000s, I really wasn't too enamoured by the, brutal death metal stuff like this. I'd always loved Suffocation, but I just never really got into the California Disgorge or Deeds of Flesh or Gorgasm. It just, I don't know. I like the bouncier sort of stuff like Devourment and Dying Fetus, but some of the really brutal stuff just seemed a little kind of monotonous, to tell the truth. I mean, I did have this as like Methods of Execution promo for some reason. I don't know where I got that, but oh well. But yeah, I just obviously didn't give it much of a go because, yeah, I like it. Thankfully, I kept blasting Wormed and, stuff like found Abominable Putridity, which not really the same as these guys, but still, it got me into the nastier sort of stuff. So, and sure enough, I saw plenty of mates rambling on about how great this is, so downloaded it. Damn nice, I like it. So, yeah, couldn't resist this. I didn't actually buy this at the festival. I bought this like a couple of days beforehand, before I knew that he was going to be at the festival, so this one came in the mail like the day after, so I felt a bit stupid about that, but oh well. So yeah, for these guys, it's been like 20-year break. It's the two Bailey brothers back together on guitar and bass, but new drummer. He does a damn fine job, and yeah, this is, they haven't really lost much of their ferocity, that's for bloody sure. There's a smidge more variety, like, it's slightly more sort of slow downs, but not much, don't worry, it's still brutal as buggery, that's for sure. The drumming on this is just stupendous, it just gives it such energy. And the young whippersnapper is like probably half the age of the old geezers that are probably my age, but so yeah, smart, just short, sharp, and very brutal. Thankfully, it's only like half an hour. They're wise on that side of things. You wouldn't want like 80 minutes of this, and it'd get a bit much, I think. But this, I'm very impressed with this. Yeah, sort of going back to their other ones. It doesn't quite grab me as much as this, but yeah, bloody tasty, brutal death metal. Another Black Sound purchase was Strychnos with their Armageddon Patronage album. I think this came out this year, if I'm not mistaken. This is like a kind of blackened death metal band from Denmark. Not the sort of constant blasting sort, but although this does seem a bit faster than their previous album, A Mother's Curse. Yeah, unsurprisingly, there's a member of Undergang in this band, so who would have guessed? But yeah, there's lots of moody sort of slow parts in this as well. It's really good combination. They really do the sort of effortless speed ups that it just fits really perfectly somehow. Sometimes, like I think it's Choking Salvation, sounds like Bolzer to me. Just something in the riffing style. Also, a bit of the sort of kind of hoarse vocal style maybe. They managed to put like baby crying in it. I mean, it very much fits the lyrics, which are friggin' bleak. I mean, it is called Armageddon Patronage, so the lyrics are not the happiest, you got to say. And his vocals are pretty clear, so you can make out stuff like, this will be the end of us, and we're killing ourselves at all costs, and yeah, it's yeah, that's what those guys look like, nasty. I really like track 4 as the Endless Void Dimension has this sort of section in it that it reminds me of that Typo Negative song off the first album, what is it, Glass Walls of Limbo dance remix, I think, or something, but just has it's that weird song that has no lyrics, and it kind of sounds like, I always thought it was like a slave ship or like Vikings riding to battle. It's just this sort of, and yeah, that song, the fourth one, Endless Void Dimension, has the singer of Volbeat, who's a band that I know absolutely nothing about other than the fact pretty sure he used to be in a pretty friggin' heavy death metal band, or black metal, one of the two, but yeah, popular groove metal, I believe. The kids would know. Comes with a nice booklety thing with all the lyrics and bleak sort of pictures. Band looking grim. Sorry, black vinyl, so nothing super exciting. Honestly, this took a number of listens to sink in on me. Like Simon from Explosive Action hassled me mercilessly to buy this, and thanks, mate. I'm glad I finally did. Yeah, if you don't like this on first listen, just give it a couple more tries, because it really took a while to sink in. But yeah, I'm very happy it did, because yeah, it's just a great combo of, yeah, it is more death metal than black metal, but it has that blackened kind of, I don't know, it's hard to describe. It took me a while just to work out what the hell this even was, but yeah, it's good. I took my camera along to the festival, but got some pretty average footage. I mean, I put the Carcinoid footage up of the couple of songs of theirs that I got. I did also film some Impetuous Ritual, which was a memorable set, that's for sure, but I'll see if I can get it up, because the sound is like white noise. Amazingly, it came out better. I was like right up the front of the barrier when they started, And where I was standing was just, I mean, I was kind of not directly in front of the PA, I was kind of in front of all their stacks and so on, and it was loud. It was white noise to me, and then amazingly the camera somehow picked up more than I could hear, which was good. Usually it's the other way around, but I did film a bit from sort of back in the crowd, and it sounded slightly better. But yeah, it was a memorable bloody set, so hopefully I'll get some of that up. I won't guarantee it, because it really doesn't sound amazing. It'll have to have some disclaimers, that's for sure. But thankfully I had a backpack with me the whole time, so yeah, as soon as I saw the distro, I was like, I'll just have a quick look at the tapes. And sure enough, grabbed a couple immediately, one of which was this. This is Void Christ with Herald of a Brighter Dawn. This is like Sean from Ignivimus and Whitehorse, along with Chris from, I think they're all in Ignivimus actually. Chris, who's also in Inverloch, and Volcano, who's in Abominator and many other bands. This is originally, this band was just Sean by himself. I've got the Monad demo, or digitally at any rate, and yeah, it's sort of industrial, electronic-y sounding sort of stuff. So that's kind of what I expected this was. It ain't. This is like rampaging Black Death sort of stuff. It's, intense as bloody hell. Guitars, drums. Ain't no, weird industrial electronic stuff going on in here. Sounds bloody good though. I really enjoyed it. It's got sort of sinister, growled vocals that kind of well done, because they're not super forceful in your face. They're kind of a bit more in the background, but just makes it still bloody sinister. Furious drumming as usual from Volcano. That guy doesn't get enough props for his work in the various Aussie bands. It's always on point. I'll show you the inner. It's super exciting, but so yeah, this is also on CD from I think a Chilean label. What is it? Veins Full of Wrath Productions. So happy I got the tape. I'm pleased to see they've played live for the first time in a long time, or maybe the first time ever recently in Melbourne. So hopefully we've got some more tunes soon, because pretty freaking impressive stuff. Just nasty Black Death, love it. The other tape I picked up was Sulphur Garden with their Psychic Surgery EP from 2023, I think. They actually played at Essence Festival, and unwisely only bought the one copy, which thankfully I got. So happy to get that. This is kind of power electronics or death industrial from two Ignivimus members, unsurprisingly. One of whom's Sean from the previous band, the other one's Jail. This is ominous. It's probably the best way of putting it, I reckon. Definitely sounds like it should be on, like Cold Spring or Cold Meat Industries. I think Brighter Death Now is probably a reasonable comparison. It's really not a style that I'm super used to. I do own one Sutcliffe Jugend CD that scares the shit out of me. It's horrible. This is not quite as harsh as that, but probably as sinister. Very stylish as well. Like, there's no cover, it's just a sticker on black plastic and tape. This is bloody impressive. It's 3 songs, the last one of which is a live one from Make It Up Club, I think. They were really good live, except for the fact that I think poor Jail, his microphone, I don't think was working at all. I wasn't quite sure if he was sort of looping it, trying to loop it, and it was in the background, but yeah, I could hear Sean quite well. He sounded great. He had these slimy, really liquidy kind of vocals that sound really good on this as well. I don't know, it's hard to describe. Slimy is probably the best way. I just love the churning sort of feel that this has. It's a real highlight for me. So yeah, very impressive. I hope they do an album or play some more, but very enjoyable. And lastly, from Black Sound was Concrete Winds with their first album, Primitive Force. I couldn't resist this one. These guys are, they're from the Åland Islands, which is kind of in the middle of the ocean or whatever between Finland and Sweden. They're Finnish. They follow on from the craziness that was Vorum, which was their previous band that, split up, and 2 of the guys continued on in this. This is very, very intense kind of death metal. Like, I don't know, it kind of sounds more grind and war metal sort of. It actually reminds me, if anything, of this charming little EP. Not the Nasum side, but the other side is War Hate, which I think was like a Portland band maybe. It's just this super intense black grind, almost you could call it. It's just nasty. Also, a bit of Angel Corpse sort of feel to it at times as well, but just, yeah, twisted riffs, crazed fast sort of solos. You know, it actually says death noise on the cover, so it's probably a good way of putting it. It's like only one song's over 4 minutes, and most of them are under 3, so yeah, it's intense bloody stuff. I can't even remember if you get on the inside. No, come out, you bastard. Oh yes, that's right. Very unexciting printed text, and yeah, black. So yeah, this is their first album, friggin' killer. But I already had their second album, which is Nerve Butcherer, or whatever, which is just as scary. And we might as well continue over to the next batch of stuff that I got. I got this one. This is their latest album, Concrete Winds. I got this from Total War Records, so might as well continue. Yeah, this is more of the same, essentially. Just as insane. Kind of reminds me of Pissgrave a bit, actually. The cover art, I have no idea what's going on there, but kind of fits the completely over-the-top music perfectly, I think. Opener, what is it? Permanent Dissonance shows, yeah, some progression, you could say. It has like a slightly slower section, but yeah, let's be real, most of it is just face melting fast. It's ridiculous stuff. Lots of those sort of sliding, kind of weird twisting riffs. It's an all-out assault on the senses. So yeah, if any of that sounds good, I highly recommend checking. I mean, this one sounds slightly better. It's slightly less tinny, a bit of a deeper sort of sound, but yeah, it's nasty stuff. I love it. Also from Total War is Dremelac with their Psychostasia album. Now, I've had a copy of this for donkey's years, but I thought, yeah, why not? I'll finally pick it up. This is legendary old Finnish death metal. It's like 1995 or 6, I think. Just a nice combination of your Demolition and your Demigod sort of styles. Slightly tech, kind of fastish death metal with lots of angular sort of riffs. With this band, I'd heard the name for years, but and I bought this one. This is like Terror of 1,000 Faces, the third album, and it never really grabbed me too much, to tell the truth. Although I put it on today, it's like, oh yeah, it's pretty good actually. Whoops. But yeah, this album friggin' rules. It's like quality Tico studio production. I did kind of want this on record, but yeah, I mean the original ones are way too expensive, but even the reissue ones are quite expensive. Plus this one actually is a stupid one of those cardboard things. This one actually comes with the 2 EPs as well, 7, which is recorded after this, and the 4, which is recorded before this. So yeah, 3 of the 4 songs off the 4 are off this album, or the main album, and sound pretty bloody similar really, but it is nice to have Fall of Tiamat, and the 7 stuff sounds pretty friggin' similar, I gotta say. Has a couple of live tracks, so yeah, very, very happy with this one. Nice little sort of booklet. Came out on Marquee Records, and I have no idea who that is, but I was kind of hoping for slightly more in the booklet. Whoops, now it's on the floor. But, oh, there's the slipcase. I was kind of hoping for more, but it's just lyrics, but oh well. The cover art is by, what's his name, Turko Ratanen, who's the brother of the guitarist and vocalist of this band. So yeah, you'd recognise him from Demolition. I don't know if he did the Demigod ones, but yeah, a batch of Depravity as well, batch of Finnish stuff. So, and I think he even wrote the lyrics for these guys as well. So I'm still kind of keen to get the Springer Recovery LP that I think Morbid Wrath put out, but yeah, postage is always a bit killer on that. So yeah, I'm very happy to have finally get around to actually getting a proper version of this. I don't actually have their second album. Was it Pure Doom Death or something? I can't remember what it's called, but that sounds reasonable as well. So I'll grab that at some stage as well, because yeah, you can never have too much Finnish death metal. And the last thing from Total War Records was Dismember with Massive Killing Capacity. This is their 1995 album. I bought this mainly because I didn't own it, and just because I was buying the other 2 things as well. So never had this when it came out. I had like the Misanthropy or Misanthropic or whatever EP that was around the same time, and because it had an Autopsy cover on it. Essentially, this is their sort of their Wolverine Blues sort of style album. Simpler, mid-pace sort of songs. It's not quite as rock and roll though, and it's still metal as hell. I think it's On Frozen Fields as proves that they're still friggin' Swedish death metal. The Iron Maiden melodic sort of style that their mates in Gothenburg developed is beginning to creep in on this though. This is a Sunlight Studios Skogsberg sort of version or sound, but yeah, despite the cover art, it's not that chainsaw-y sounding really. Does sound tough as hell when they get heavy on hallucinogenia. But yeah, I think it's To the Bone. The start bit sounds like Biohazard to me for some reason, but the rest of it's a good sort of death and rolly kind of song. Collection by Blood, is very at the gatesy sounding. Doesn't really work for me, and on this, Matty's a bit disappointing in his vocals. He's a bit too shouty, a bit less gory than usual. So again, they're trying for the Wolverine Blues sort of style, but it doesn't really work for these guys. They improved it a lot better on the next album, Death Metal, but this is not my favourite. And the cover art, despite it being ridiculously dramatic, is a bit over the top really for Dismember, I've got to say. This is a wanky orange vinyl or whatever, and it does come with a sleeve with the same cover art for some reason. Okay. I always found it mildly disappointing that the Dismember logo is just on his leg. I don't know, there's heaps of space up the top. It's a great logo, you should bung it up there high, but I'm happy to have this, but I wouldn't have paid a giant amount for an OG version, that's for sure, because it ain't my favourite Dismember. Alright, up next for a batch I got from Overuse Records in Tasmania. They were, he was selling some stuff on Facebook, like second-hand stuff, and so I got a couple of those, and also a new one from the actual collection. First up, Absu with Tara. This is their 2001 album that, I would recommend you watch my Osmos, top 20 bands or whatever from Osmos Productions, because I discuss this a bit more on there, because I'm glad to finally actually have a proper copy of it now. This one sold cheaper because it's slightly dinged sort of corner. You probably can't really see it, but I don't give a shit. It's fine by me. The records are in fine condition. It's better condition than some of my other records, so that's alright. This album friggin' rules. The scripter just goes off on the drums, somehow singing as well, and just it's crazy. I love the Slayer influence throughout, occasional sword noises. This is all lyrics, cool ass artwork from Chris Verwimp. I'm hoping you pronounce that a bit differently. This comes on like clear vinyl or something or other. I mean, I had been waiting to pick this up, just new, because Osmo stuff's always pretty much in print, but just no one had it, so I saw it, reasonable price, second hand. It even comes with a poster, pretty stylish. One of the best things though that I realised comes with a picture of them looking pretty fucking evil. Comes with a glossary of all the various Celtic sort of references. There's like Aleister Crowley on there, and what Tara is, and all these words in Gaelic that I'm not going to pretend that I can pronounce. So stylish way to do it. Very handy. So if you ever want to read along to their lyrics, very useful. So freaking awesome album. Get it. One of the other second-hand ones that I got from him was Pestilential Shadows with their Ephemeral album. This is their fifth album from 2014. These guys put some stuff out, that's for sure. So I got another couple after this. This is epic black metal, Aussie black metal, real mournful kind of streak throughout it. I mean, there's unsurprising a theme when you got songs called Mill of Discord and Sorrow of Tongues and Hymn of Isolation and Suicide. Plus a song called Expire. These guys do build up really well. It's very effective. Occasionally they break out in sort of kind of more normal riffs, like on Sorrow of Tongues, but most of it's just tremolo nastiness. It's very atmospheric and moody. It's effective. There's quite the gap after this album. Like 7 years later, they put out what's this, Revenant, I think it's called, which the style got a bit more in your face, a bit less sort of atmospheric maybe, but still friggin' killer. And their new album's great as well. But this one really nice. It's a real shame it's only on CD because the cover art's really gorgeous. I'd happily buy a record version of this, so who knows, one day, seance. Might get around to getting a record of this, but yeah, this is bloody great. Really good stuff. Alright, and lastly, the new thing that I got from Overuse was Abergor with their Opus 4 album from 1996, and yeah, this arrived the day that was announced that PK had killed himself, so it's a sad day, that's for sure, but I have a feeling this is maybe the first Abergor that I heard. I'm glad to finally get this. I've got most of the earlier sort of stuff now on official CD or LP. Like the other early albums, this is very, very layered. Sounds really great on, I think it's Eerie Constellation, where they've got like this nice sort of acoustic bit sitting over the top of just tremolo nastiness. It's really not an easy thing to do, to get the levels right where, you know, it actually all instruments are audible. So they've done well here. This is just a reissue one on, well, WTC, World Terror Committee, or whatever they're called. I'm assuming this is part of a set because the spine has, like, you know, part of a graphic. But yeah, I've already got the other early stuff, so I don't think I'll be buying the other reissues. But yeah, really good solos on this as well as usual. Which is really not that common in black metal. I mean, these guys always were sort of walking their own path, that's for bloody sure. It actually sounds really good when they slow down slightly on, I think it's a Breath from Worlds Beyond. Still complex as hell, but yeah, bloody tasty. This is actually a sort of 2 EPs. The second recording session is kind of not as good. The second one's from 1995, whereas I think the first one's 96, maybe, I think it says. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of one of those things where the first half sounds better than the second half, which is a bit distracting, really, when you get up to the second half and it's like, okay. So I mean, it's still killer music, that's for bloody sure. So, and I'm glad to have this because I'd never really seen that cover properly, but I think they actually posted a picture on their Facebook of the actual photo. It's like a torture chair with spikes all over it. I don't know, for some reason I'd never really looked closely at this, probably because I didn't own it. And yeah, that's nasty. So yeah, it's freaking killer bloody thing, and real shame about PK, but well, yeah, had to walk his paths, so yeah, it's bloody awesome. Alright, next up is an order I got from Fat Ass Records. Love it. This is a Skull Hog split with Violation Wound. It's a picture disc, obviously. Very stylish. Yeah, originally this was released on CD in 2016, but I couldn't resist the stylish cover art. Skull Hog's ex-Bile, like the Dutch band Bile. Not quite as heavy and gurgly as those guys. Pretty similar, but so it's sort of just heavy gore grindy sort of stuff, but no pitch shifted vocals, but very friggin' detuned guitars, that's for sure. I kind of prefer this to their Evil Dead album, which was a bit of a disappointment, I gotta say, and I'm pretty sure they threw in this Bile patch. I got it from somewhere, so I assume it's from them, thank you. And I never tire. I mean, they've got 2 songs on here, one of which is Gateways of Ebon, so I never tire of that "You Ungodly Warlock" from a sample from the Beyond. But yeah, this is like the last thing they released like 8 years ago, so I'm hoping they're still going. I know Bile's kind of got back together for some gigs, I think, but yeah, I haven't heard much from Skullhog for a while. The other side is, well, yeah, it's actually all one side, but I think, yeah. The other tracks are Violation Wound, which is like a punk band with Chris Reifert from Autopsy, so of course I own a lot of their stuff. This is earlier stuff, so not quite as good. Like, I mean, his vocal style, his sort of shouty, non-growled vocals work perfectly with this sort of style. But this, I don't know, the bass is too clean sounding. And a bit loud as well. They got scuzzier sounding, and I must admit I still kind of prefer the Eat My Fuck project that was Chris and Danny from Autopsy as well, and very similar but a bit more Gigi Allenish than these guys. It was just scuzzier and grosser. This is still bit gross, but not quite gross enough. But yeah, the last song, I think it's Web of Hate's like sort of acoustic with like sinister kind of spoken wordy almost. Not really selling it, but it sounds pretty effective. So, yeah, happy to get this one. Increase my Violation Wound collection some more. So, yeah, good stuff. Alright, next up are a couple of fanzines that I got. This is Conscious Rot issues 1 and 2. This is an Aussie-produced fanzine dedicated to underground death metal, so of course I'm going to like it. Main guy Sean reached out to me and offered to give me the second one for free, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then I just bought them both off his Bandcamp because I could afford it. I love that these have like this, you know, list of crusty old death metal up the front that really inspires them. I'm looking forward to tracking down a few of the ones that I don't actually know, so yeah, excellent. Don't really know how to review zines, but at any rate, these are really quite good. I mean, they're a bit brief, it's like not that many pages, but yeah, you've got to start somewhere, and pretty in-depth interviews. There's only like 3 bands pretty much per issue, but yeah, they're good sort of interesting questions. I appreciate that. I used to interview bands back in the day for old Street Press mag, and too often there was just same old boring stuff that I'd read in other interviews, so I tried to change them up a bit, and these are really good, sort of detailed. There's also a label retrospective in this one of To Test Records, old Danish, maybe? Belgian. So, you know, they review all of their, you know, releases that they put out in the years that they were around. Yeah, it's got, good stuff. Good old zine style. And I like the reviews. They're nice and sort of concise. They're not super flowery and, you know, wanky long bloody analogies and stuff. It's just to the point. This one's they've bumped it up slightly. This one's got like news in it now, like the second issue. And yeah, more reviews and, you know, interview with good old mates Contaminated. So yeah, keeps the Aussie spirit alive, and but also some overseas bands, got layout playlists and stuff, so yeah, killer stuff. Very happy with these, so yeah, I'll keep an eye out for more of them. Up next are a batch that I got from Discogs. This one will give my Canberra mates a bit of a laugh probably. This is Log with Log's second album. This is a legendary old Canberra band. I assumed I owned this, but what I actually owned was a 4-track promo version of this for some weird bloody reason. I probably got it free at a gig, so I think this is one of those things that I always meant to pick up and never got around to, because I've got like a burn of it or a tape of it somewhere. But yeah, I got this from Germany of all places, and it was like dirt cheap, so I was like, what the hell, always meant to get that. I mean, I had their first album, 10 Songs of Log. Legendary band. Yeah, I mean, I know these guys, and I think I saw their first show in like Brad's Lounge Room or something or other. So yeah, this is like members of Pod People, Codpiece, Shifter, and Andy Fennell. This is essentially boogie sludge. Let's just put it that way. So it's heavy as hell, but just groovy as buggery. They got like the singer does harmonica on this as well. So I think it's the Chimp and Swamp Shanty both have harmonica on it, which you might think, what the hell? That sounds crap. But yeah. Sounds amazing. Heaps of bottom end, because they had like 2 bass players as well, and it's also got the sort of the Wollongong stoner vibes as well, from, because a couple of the members are in Shifter, legendary old band from there. But yeah, on this, groove is just everything. I think Gravedigger's just a complete stomper. I mean, every song on this freaking rules. Great combo and plenty of sort of heavy riffs as well. I think Beef Porridge is, yeah, tough. The last song, The Dead March, is just this killer doomy end, and then just breaks into the most mosh-tastic bloody riff. I saw these guys a batch, but the highlight was probably a Metal for the Brain that they played, where they had like the 2 guitarists that they usually had, and 3 bassists, because they had sort of like rotating members at times, but all 3 bassists were available, and a singer as well, so it was, yeah, ridiculous. It impressed a lot of people, I think, because Metal for the Brain had, you know, like many hundreds, if not 1,000 people at it or whatever, so they played in those masks that they're wearing. Not sure why, but yeah, showed up pretty good. Plus they had somewhat legendary, yeah, there's a picture of the boys. Somewhat legendary, I think he gets a picture in here maybe, oh yeah. Carney, the legend. They had like a mascot on stage. It was just another Canberra legend, Carney, who just being an idiot on stage, G'ing up the crowd. You know, he didn't have an instrument or anything. He was just jumping around looking like an idiot. It was beautiful stuff. So much fun. He also did a bit of mascot work for the VBs. So that's about the level of quality that they that he produced. Yeah, it's amazing stuff. The Bandcamp, I'm pretty sure on for this is below. So highly recommend checking that out. They did eventually sort of morph into Boon Horse, which was another even less known Canberra band that put out these 2 demos, sort of albums. They're pretty similar at first, but then they kind of branched off into a bit more, I don't know, thoughtful sort of style. Brad and Dave are now obviously in Pod People. They're also in Lucifungus, who I've shown bloody heaps on this. So, and yeah, which has similar sort of sound to Log at times. Yeah, bloody killer. I'm glad to finally have this because I felt bloody stupid not owning it despite knowing him and having seen him like dozens of times. But yeah, glad to have that. I've actually got I've still got the cover of it somewhere of like a demo CD that they did, but I don't think it has a CD in it. And I don't really want to run through every single one of my, random burnt discs to make sure which one's Log, because there's a lot of them. So anyway, that album friggin' rules. While buying the Log CD, I noticed the same seller had this for sale. This is Rottrevore with their Iniquitous album. This is from 1993. Yeah, apparently, I never realised until I read the blurb that comes with this. This is a compilation CD called Disembodied that's like demo and a couple of EPs. Highly recommend this one as well. This came out on Necroharmonic, I think. Yeah, I never realised it's pronounced Rottrevore. I was calling it Rottrevore all these years, but it actually says Rottrevore. But yeah, at any rate, these guys are legendary old super heavy Pennsylvania band. I think they were originally around from 89 to 95 and then 2011 to 2014, and now back together since 2021. So pretty sure they got a newish EP as well. But at any rate, this is their one full length album that they ever did. Friggin' heavy as hell. Holy dooly. Yeah, the original of this is rare and very expensive, so this is just the reissue on Extreme Record or Extreme Music, which does just as good a job, doesn't worry me. Yeah, this is really heavy death metal, a la sort of Grave and Incantation, or maybe kind of like newer bands like Undergang. Mostly just mid-paced steamroller, no, flowery flourishes or minimal solos. Although I do really love the evil melody on sort of, I think it's Conspiracized, very effective. Just really heavy, detuned, snarly sort of sound. Kind of reminds me of when, I think it was, it's on that Sounds of Ordinary Madness. There's an old Necrotomy song that they wasn't on their demos that was on that when I first heard it, I thought it was just the bass intro, and then I realised after a while, no, that's just how detuned all the guitars are. It's 2 other guitars as well. So this has a slightly similar sort of just ridiculous sound. Really deep vocals as well, with really nice long growls. I love it. The whole thing's crushing. Disembodied, the slower section on that's just stupid heavy. Dismal Fate has a nice sort of snarly bass line with guitars coming sort of in and out. I always loved the chugger riff on what is it, Unbeknownst, which is just like a short kind of song that I think I first heard on, it's off their EP as well. So yeah, it's just got this just chugger riff that kicks in halfway through. This is a Relapse compilation. I mean, this is a band I first heard on the good old Pantalgia compilation yet again. They're like 3rd on that, so yeah, they certainly sold me, so I'm happy to get this. It does have 3 live songs, which I think Clogged Sewer Pipe doesn't appear to be on this or the other stuff, so yeah, pretty murky sounding, but the vocals cut through pretty well. The only thing I have a problem with is the cover art's just kind of cheesy, doesn't really suit the music too well. Should have people being ripped apart. That's just like, I don't know, monstery minotaur or something or other. I don't know. doesn't particularly fit, but yeah, very happy to have this. So yeah, highly recommend this one or the compilation of their like demos and EPs. Tough as hell. Alright, this next one I got from the band or House of Mythology. This is Ulver with Perdition City. Yeah, this is originally from 2000. I've owned it since 2000 on CD, so not really sure why I bought this on record, but why not? Probably one of those fear of missing out kind of things, but yeah, this does actually have the Metamorphosis EP on the end of it as well, on the D side, so which I don't have anyway, so happy to get that. Yeah, this is one of my favourite Ulvers, actually, to tell the truth. I mean, after William Blake was such a change from Nathan's Madrigal, that one I really like as well, but yeah, this one was even further away. There's no slight even hints of metal on this. Yeah, I'd say this probably is my favourite non-black metal Ulver album. I just love that immersive atmosphere on this as like a film noir sort of movie. It even includes like a fake trailer voiceover in dead city centres. It's just great sort of stuff. You know, it's minimal trip hop kind of something. Don't know what's going on, but yeah, very atmospheric, very effective. I'm always kind of sad on Ulver albums where Garm doesn't sing very much. He's got such a beautiful voice, as evidenced in Arcturus. Yeah, so thankfully he sings on a couple of these songs. I think it's Nowhere Catastrophe is a fave because of him singing on it. I've also forgotten this actually has Faust from Emperor drumming on Future Sound of Music as well. I completely forgot about that. If anything, this is like not quite as good as a CD because the CD's got a massive friggin' booklet, but yeah, what the hell. This is on neon pink bio vinyl apparently. Ooh. Very dramatic. So yeah, killer freaking album. But yeah, the Metamorphosis EP, I was really not familiar with at all. I didn't think I even had a burn of it or anything. So yeah, it's 4 songs. I think of Wolves and Vibrancy is kind of like a techno song. Gnosis, the second song, is probably my favourite on there. It really does just sound like another song from Perdition City. Very similar sort of trip hoppy style. Limbo Central is kind of, yeah, like a theme. I think it's the theme of Perdition City or something or other. But yeah, that one goes alright. But then the last song, of Wolves and Withdrawal, is very minimal. I don't know if much is going on that at all. But yeah, I'm happy to have Gnosis. That's probably the better one. So yeah, very happy to get this. This is like 8 months or something or other since I ordered this. I'd completely forgotten I ordered it, so it was nice when it showed up. But yeah, another sad member has passed, like Tor died a month ago or so, so yeah, very sad to see. So I don't know what the Ulver's future is, or same with Abigor, so yeah, bloody good stuff. Alright, up next for a batch I got from Repressed Records in Sydney. First up is Maggot Cave with Chronicles of the Cave. This only just came out on like Grindhead and Stacked Records, maybe. Yeah, this is a Sydney grind band. Just pretty straightforward sort of style combo of, growled and screamed vocals. It actually has a slight nasum feel to it in parts, just possibly the brutality of the vocals and fast parts. Really nice groove on it. Occasionally on, I think it's Strip Club Brawl, I really enjoyed, and Sewer, the song after, was pretty bloody tasty. Yeah, it's like 11 songs in 11 and a half minutes. You know what you're going to get. Even has covers of Circle Jerks and AC with Radio Hit and World Up My Arse. Lovely. Yeah, short, sharp, nasty. Love it. Nothing too exciting. You get lyrics and yeah, killer cover art as well. I really like that. Doesn't actually seem to get a credit, but oh, very nice. Also from Repressed is Gut Void with Breathing Obelisk. This is their latest EP. This is a moody death doom, sort of, or maybe just slow death metal. I don't know, these guys are interesting. The first EP was kind of sounded like, Demolich and Kthelist in parts. Lots of those sort of killer Finnish evil melodies sort of bits. But then their album, whose name I cannot remember for the save me, but freaking good. It's a weird combination of kind of like really heavy death metal, but really moody atmospheric bits. It was quite a long album, but somehow worked. I mean, these songs aren't short either, but I don't know, somehow it shouldn't work as well as it does, but it does. I wouldn't say they actually sound like Blood Incantation, but it's kind of like that beautiful smooth combination of styles, more so like earlier Blood Incantation, but could be seen as meandering, as the songs are kind of long, but it really doesn't drag for me. I mean, this is like 4 songs in half an hour, so it ain't short. The third song has nice sort of angular Demilich kind of style riff in it again, which is just always music to my ears. The last song has a slightly weirder than usual guitar part that doesn't particularly work, but yeah, it's only part of the song. So yeah, you could possibly call this progressive, but I just think of it as kind of weird tech death, sort of. I don't know, it's hard to describe. I encourage you to listen to them because there's a link below, but yeah, I really like this band. And lastly from Repressed is Fenachrist with Cremation Pyre. This is yet another Blood Harvest release. I don't know, for some reason Repressed gets their stuff really quite cheap, and they have bloody good output. It's a damn fine label, Blood Harvest. They put out heaps of great stuff. So yeah, quality artwork like this, cheapness, and a plug from Simon from Explosive Action meant, yeah, I'm going to buy this. So why not? This is Portuguese death metal. They've been around since like 2020 or something. The main guy, DS, is from Summon and Blasphemous Fire. So yeah, this has a slightly modern death metal feel to it, kind of like Crypts or maybe like a slower Dead Congregation. I mean, there's lots of slow tremolo, but there's still lots of bloody fast bits as well. So I don't know, this is kind of hard to describe. I've listened to this a batch of times and not written that many notes on it, to tell the truth. Lots of chunky slow bits. So yeah, it's just interesting death metal, let's put it that way. So yeah, a really nice cover art as well by the vocalist guy. So I thought I got like a slight hint of Bolzer at times in this as well. I think it's Astonishing Devastation. So yeah, I don't know, it's just catchy, fun sort of stuff. Just black vinyl, so nothing exciting. Yeah, just fun, excellent death metal. Next up is one I ordered from the band. This is Major's Terror with Damnation's Sight. This is a brand spanking album from this Queensland band. This came out on Invictus Productions. So yeah, this is kind of black thrash, or maybe a bit of death thrash almost. This is old sounding, let's put it that way. This is a couple of guys from Pestilence and Consummation, and also Elogium from Portal as well, and Vomitor. I think it's mostly his sort of project, or it was initially, so yeah, this sounds... I bought their demo as well, and this sounds a lot smoother. The demo was slightly clunky. This is, yeah, bloody nice. There's a lot more solos in this than your usual black sort of thrash. Yeah, I think it's Fane of the Slug Gods is my probably favourite song on here, because it's just slightly catchier than the other ones. There's even a nice guest solo from Shrapnel from Destroyer 666 and Nocturnal Groves. I think he's on Presage, the kind of mellow song. I got suckered by this one for the ridiculous splattery sort of one, but I don't know, kind of nice colour, I think. But I'm trying not to buy quite as much splattery stuff, but yeah, I still get suckered every once in a while. Nice little inner sleevey bit. So yeah, I think this band will get better over time when they play live a lot more and get sort of, I don't know. I wonder if some bands go to album a little early before doing a number of demos or just playing live a lot. To, some of these songs, it needs a bit more grit, I've got to say. That's my only issue with it. It's a bit nice. I want it a bit nastier, a bit rawer, faster. I don't know. There's something slightly lacking in this, but still bloody kick-ass and stylish cover art. Yeah, I would recommend checking these guys out. The link's below, but yeah, if you like slightly more shreddy black thrash, definitely worth checking out. Alright, this next one's not really a new album for me. This is Solstice with their self-titled first album. Well, I think it's got a different name on some reissues, but anyway, their first album. I'd had this on CD for freaking decades. It was in a box in the shed, so not really one of my favourites, but Simon from Explosive Action, he wanted the OG version and was happy to trade me for this. I'm like, why not, what the hell. Yeah, this is heavy thrash, death thrash sort of stuff, kind of like your Demolition Hammer or maybe, you know, Mid-era Sepultura. You know, Florida band, so they're classic Scott Burns, Morrisound, clear production. I bought this, well, I bought the CD originally because I think it's Alex Marquez, the drummer, was lauded as this kick-ass drummer, and he is pretty friggin' good on this, I've got to say. It's one of the highlights for me. But it also has Rob Barrett from like Cannibal Corpse on guitar and vocals. Vocals aren't the best, but not too bad. Both are in Malevolent Creation in the true incestuous Florida sort of style. Yeah, this is actually better than I remember. It's pretty bloody good, actually. For some reason it's got like SMD, which was like Suck My Dick. It's a Carnival cover. Don't know why the hell they did that on this. It's kind of fun, actually. They use like an actual sample of the real Carnival song at first, and then there's a sort of bit in the song where he coughs and the song starts again and the Solstice version starts. It's pretty well done, but yeah, it doesn't really add much, and it's a weird choice for a debut album. And yeah, the Carnival version's better, really. Its vocals are way better. Yeah, so happy to have this. It comes with this. It comes with like a poster of, you know, the cover art, which is all well and good, but on the back is the friggin' all the lyrics and stuff. So stiff shit if you want to put the poster up and read the lyrics, because that ain't gonna work. So yeah. Not too bad. I'm happy to have this again on record. But yeah, it's death thrash. Not a really style I go to all that often, to tell the truth. It's never quite nasty enough. I mean, I think Incubus is probably like Opprobrium or whatever they're called now, is probably the one I go to most. It just always seems a bit too fence-sitting. It's like either choose thrash or death. I don't know. I'm whinging, but yeah, this is a pretty bloody good album, actually. I'm glad I still own it in one form or another, and I'm glad Simon's got his OG CD. Good work. And last but not least is Nile with The Underworld Awaits Us All. I got this from Nuclear Blast for some reason, even though it came out on Napalm Records. Yeah, this is American death metal band, Egyptian themed, obviously. Yeah, I don't need to say too much about these chaps. This is their 10th bloody album, far out. Yeah, honestly, I didn't really keep that much interest in the last couple of Nile albums, but this one, I don't know, when it was announced, I listened to a song or two and went, oh yeah, sounds pretty bloody nice. So I ordered it up, and of course, as you would have seen from the thumbnail, I ordered the ridiculous version that comes with this friggin' bust of, I don't know, some evil Egyptian god of some variety. Can't remember what his name is, but it'll look very friendly, so very stylish. I'm regretting now that I didn't buy the earlier albums that came with like weird and wacky stuff. I'll put pictures of them up. There's like a pyramid one and some other slightly odd gimmicky sort of ones. There's only 500 of those pressed, so it's already sold for a couple $100 on Discogs. Not that I want to sell it, but because this is a bloody good album, I want to keep this, but I could not resist that ridiculousness of it all. As far as the album goes, bloody nice. Seems to have a few more solos than usual, slightly shreddier, but yeah, and I don't mind the new vocalist, actually. I think he was probably there on the last album, but yeah, he's not as, I don't know, Carl's deep style can get a bit monotonous at times. It's nice to break it up, kind of. And I mean, the whole thing slightly reminds me of still my favourite Nile first album, Amongst the Catacombs of Nephron Carr, which is just more frantic, crazier, and had like 3 vocalists that all with different styles, and just, yeah, amazing. This isn't quite that good, I don't think, but this is still friggin' nice. There's like even a hint of black metal sort of riffing on, I think it's To Strike with Secret Fang. And of course I do have to read out, as I'm sure every reviewer does, the second song title, which is Chapter for Not Being Hung Upside Down on a Stake in the Underworld and Made to Eat Feces by the 4 Apes. That sounds pretty good. I am actually seeing them live this weekend, so I'm hoping they play that song and he announces that song title in like, you know, ridiculous death metal voice or something. Who knows? I haven't actually seen them live. For some reason, you know, I've been to Australia a number of times. I've been to America a million times. I don't think they've actually played MDF that much, so it's kind of where I should have seen them. I think I missed them once when I was at MDF, and for some reason just didn't go to the other 1 or 2 times that they toured, so I'm looking forward to it. Not holding my breath for too many songs off the first album, but you never know. Yeah, this is pretty tasty. It does have some odd sections though. There's like female vocals on it a bit, like choiry kind of ones. It does actually work quite well. I was just kind of thrown a bit when they appeared. One song, I think it's True Gods of the Desert, has this sort of like, I don't know, slightly odd groove, like Pantera style riffing that, and some clean vocals that, yeah, it was a bit iffy, but overall sort of works. As per usual, the drumming's just exceptional on this. George's, yeah, and perfect bloody sound. It sounds amazing. Some of the songs towards the end kind of drag a bit. They're a bit slower, and this is a bit long to tell the truth, but at any rate, I'm happy to have it. Comes with like, you know, just a booklety thing, but they've got like, I don't know if he's like interviewing himself, but there's a write-up on every page with every song, possibly about the songs. I don't have time to read all that crap, so, but yeah, he's into it, that's for sure. So yeah, I was quite impressed with this, I gotta say. I didn't have my hopes up that high, but this is friggin' nice. So that's all the crap that arrived in September. Bloody lord of it. It took me quite a while to listen to it all, that's for sure. And October, I may have just gone a little berserk on the whole ordering. I don't know, various record labels just happen to put out a whole lot of good stuff, so I'm kind of hoping it doesn't arrive until November so I can have a slight breathing room. But at any rate, thanks for watching. All the links to all these bands are below, and all the places where I bought them, so highly recommend checking pretty much all of it out, because it's all bloody good. And yeah, one last look at our grumpy mate. Why not? So thanks again for watching. I'll see you again soon. Cheers.